Hello everyone and welcome to The Vortex, where lies and falsehoods are trapped and exposed. I'm Michael Voris. And what has got to be one of the more disgusting stories we have ever covered in The Vortex, this is a perfect example of everything that has gone wrong in the church in the West in the past 50 years. A renegade clergy, a group of faithful Catholics, a small group, a hierarchy with its head in the sand as usual, issues of dogma being challenged willy-nilly and only the lay faithful defending them, defiance of the Vatican and the Holy Father, no punishment meted out per se, as usual. Homosexual clergy, abortion, every ingredient you could possibly imagine in the great stinking pot of modernistic fermentation. LifeSiteNews.com, a website dedicated to the protection of babies in the womb, has come under yet another attack from the modernist progressive tyrants who comprise the new church. Here are the details. A priest named Raymond Gravel is suing the website for $500,000. $300,000 for the attack on his reputation and consequent pain and suffering, and another $200,000 in punitive damages for what he calls a voluntary, intentional, and malicious attack. He insists that he has fallen on hard times because of what they have reported about him. What a load of garbage. The folks at LifeSite News, who I happen to have met on many occasions, are splendid examples of the faith and have done nothing but report on Father Gravel's own words and the consequences of those words. Since he has said his reputation has been maligned, a little history of Father Gravel is now in order. He has openly admitted that before becoming a priest, he was active in the homosexual community of Montreal, working in gay nightclubs, and was a male prostitute. The newspaper article where he freely admits this is attached right over here with a link. Now, anyone can have a conversion from any sinful lifestyle and come home to Christ. That's not a problem. The church is busting at the seams with such examples. However, merely becoming a priest doesn't mean an authentic conversion has happened. In the case of Father Gravel, it is at the very heart of the matter. He is a Catholic priest. As such, it is his duty, he is duty-bound, to not only uphold and preach the teachings of the church, but to believe them himself inside with every ounce of fiber of his being. He does not. He has openly admitted that he disagrees with the church's teaching on homosexuality. That shouldn't be surprising, given his past. He was a gay prostitute and still insists that homosexuality is an acceptable moral choice. In becoming a priest, it can easily be argued that he did not convert, at least not fully or sufficiently, from his former values system. He has openly disagreed with the Vatican about its teaching on homosexuality by writing an open letter critical of the teaching that says respect for homosexual persons cannot lead to approval of homosexual behavior or legal recognition of homosexual unions. Father Gravel insists the position of the church is discriminatory and hurtful. And Father Gravel is wrong, dead wrong. Now, on the matter of abortion, he says he's against abortion, but in favor of choice. That line of faulty reasoning is stupid and evil. Stupid because it has no basis in reason whatsoever. You can't approve of the choice of something without at least agreeing that what's being chosen is morally licit, unless, of course, you have no conscience. And as far as the choice being evil, well, that's so obvious we don't have to say anything else about it. Moreover, Father Gravel was a member of the Canadian Parliament for 2 years, where he consistently maintained what he calls a pro-choice stance, which is, in effect, a vote in favor of killing children in the womb, regardless of what his twisted logic produces. He was suspended from his priestly duties in 2008 by the bishop, but is still tromping across Canada, sometimes actually having the audacity to wear his priest's blacks, promoting his version of Catholicism. Whatever his barely sane ramblings about the faith, this man needs to be formally tossed out of the church, not as a matter of revenge, but as a matter of justice and charity. Charity to him that he recognizes and repents of as evil, and justice with regard to the truth and the scandal he inflicts on others. Now he is suing a website composed of wonderfully faithful Catholics for an amount that would, if he won, which is in the crazy atmosphere of Canada's political correctness, he might possibly, would shut them down, thus giving the former gay hooker turned priest, who never actually repudiated his past, a final revenge. That is, in this life. Gravel insists, as we said earlier, that he has fallen on hard times because of LifeSiteNews.com writing about his evil positions. He seems to somehow forget or ignore that they were not putting words into his mouth. He said and still says everything LifeSite News reports he says. Only in the whacked-out world of modernist progressive Catholics could a gay priest make such idiotic statements and still remain a priest, or even a Catholic for that point. A host of questions arise from this case, many more than we have time to address here, but nonetheless worth asking. How did this man ever get into seminary? How did he stay in seminary? How did he get ordained? How did he get assignments at parishes? Why is he still a priest? Regardless of having been suspended from public duties, that's not the point. And why isn't he excommunicated? And here's a final point. Since he is a priest of the church in Canada, and he is taking faithful Catholics to court for $500,000 for calling him out on his heresy, wouldn't it be a wonderful token if the bishops of Canada owned up to the fact that one of their own is totally out of line, off the reservation, and they offered to kick in some money to help defray the legal bills? They did ordain him after all. They set the table for the offense against justice to occur in the first place. If they won't formally strip him of his priesthood or excommunicate him, the very least they could do is have the common courtesy to pay some of the bills that will come about as a result of their negligence. We have a number of articles linked right over here for you to read and read much more about this and some ways in which you can help. God bless you. I'm Michael Voris.
Please help us keep delivering these kinds of messages that so desperately need to be heard and acted on. Join RealCatholicTV.com today as a premium subscriber. Become immersed in the faith established by Jesus Christ. The Catholic Church is the only hope against evil because that is its God-given mission. As our Lord said, apart from me, you can do nothing. Join RealCatholicTV.com today as a premium subscriber and come to learn and love Christ more deeply.